Right. Tarp, Saf muttered to herself, as it became evident where the rather massive section of canvas had been hiding. Galaxa had been using it as harness padding, which was mostly due to there really being nowhere else to put it. Even folded in on itself twice, it still covered all of the venerable dragon's back. I still don't get what you want this for. Don't we have tarps? Actually, no, I know we have some. We use them for the logs and shit, Foe complained, still not having worked out the purpose of a keep dweller getting a few dozen square meters of a stout waxed canvas. Saf had to admit it looked to be quality stuff and brand new. It was laid out in the grass for inspection by the buyer, Ray walking along the sides of it, looking it over and passing Saf on her walk round. So, who is it for? Saf questioned as she came by. Tigwan, for when it rains, Ray answered meekly as she carried on. Ah, I see. Wait, you got this for a dragon who is staying at a keep? Don't they have a greeting hall? Foe piped up again, clearly wanting to be heard today. Yes, but the floor is stone. It gets cold in winter. Also, he gets to keep it. He told me about all the times he had to sleep outside before. Now, if he has this, he could stay dry, or have something nice to lie on.
Yes, it can certainly help make a campsite more comfortable, Galaxa agreed, giving the woman a nod. But it seems you know that already. Is that for Glera by chance? He questioned, glancing towards where Saf and Fengi had set up the other tarp for a drill, to give her some shelter from the rain. No, that is for our resident black dragon, Saf clarified. I believe she is currently napping in protest. Ah, the dragon responded, glancing to Baron, the decorated war veteran. A peculiar allocation of resources, isn't it, sir? He asked, with what Saf thought to be humour in his voice. Baron and Jarix had been sitting behind the line of dragonettes, waiting patiently, and having a chat with the two new arrivals when they weren't busy with all the unloading and various questions.
It is indeed, but she is of the keep. We are not. If we wanted a tarp, we best bring one ourselves,
the red dragon responded, calmly and seemingly not upset about the fact he was sleeping outside still. Didn't think of that, Saf cursed to herself. Glera had, of course, complained, but, well, she was a bit of an ass too. Baron, though, he didn't deserve worse hospitality than a slave. That wasn't right.
Maybe I should bring you one for next year, old sport. If they let you out here again, that is, of course. If they do not, then they best find a suitable replacement. We need every dragon currently on the island, and I doubt that is to change soon.
Right you are. Well, I suppose a lesser teacher will have to do for the recruits. I am sure they will find someone.
Baron did raise an eyebrow at that comment, but didn't offer anything further. Right, okay. My question now. Why don't you bring a tarp along if it is so nice? Foe tried again, glancing between the red and white dragons.
It is heavy, of course, and I do not plan on staying in the wilds any more than is needed. That and I have cargo to carry, of course. Galaxa deflected with a huff, not paying the young Huntress much mind. Isn't that going to be a bit heavy for a dragon who's supposed to fight then? I swear I'm not trying to be an arse here. Well, you are failing there, Foe, Saf grumbled to herself, as she watched Ray look down at the tarp, ears lowering slightly. Saf knew getting something that big couldn't have been cheap, though. Perhaps the greenhorn did have a point. Tigwan couldn't even be half the weight of Galaxa. But on the upside, he didn't have a shred of armor to wear, unlike Jarix and especially Grevy, so perhaps it would be fine. Might even make his harness a bit more comfortable. It hadn't looked to Sapphire like the finest of work. I'm sure he will be fine. If luck would have it, I'm sure he'll be sticking around this island for some time. Then he can just leave it at whatever keep is closest to what he's doing. Isn't that right, you old grizzled veteran? You must have done that a few times, no?
Ray's ears did raise a little at the hopeful words as she looked to Baron.
It doesn't get any worse that he leaves it somewhere for a time if he is expecting battle, though. And I do not believe he has a place of his own in the city yet. If what Galaxa says is true and they have taken new recruits, then the shared stables will be quite packed indeed.
Oh yes, a fair few young and old. It seems news of the fighting on the frontier lit a few souls.
Indeed. Well, in that case he might be more appreciative. Some privacy is always nice, even if it is only a clearing somewhere.
Oh, that is good. I was worried for a moment there he wouldn't like it, Ray said happily, giving the tub one last final glance. It looks good too. I am very happy with it.
Well then, I guess we can knock you off the list as well then. I will tell Carnage. Is this Black Dragon going to come and get it here?
Oh, I hope so. He will. Ain't no way he's heading home for winter without swinging by to say hi. If he ain't staying the winter, that is, Saf declared. She was quite confident in that statement, all things considered. Tiguan was a big softy, and Yilts wouldn't be able to stand the complaining if they didn't.
Very well. We will put it away, or should I take it up to the greeting hall when time allows?
Oh, if you wouldn't mind, I think it would be quite hard to get up the stairs.
Very well, perhaps before dinner. I do seem to smell something quite lovely, yes?
We have some stuff in the spits, yes. I hope you will like it. We know you have flown a long way.
Indeed. It is always rough doing such a long stint in one go, and I would hazard a guess we aren't getting more than a few days here before heading home this time now, are we?
I wouldn't be so sure just yet, Galaxa, Saf interjected. We did find something more down below which they are very busy with.
Of course you did. Well, I am sure we shall hear more of that very soon. Did you hear that, Arch? More stuff down below.
Galaxa called out towards Arch, who seemed to have been having a conversation with Jarrix upon being reunited. He did turn his head towards them to answer, though.
Well, yes. There were 2 more vaults. Did they get them open? Well, did you? Galaxa questioned, looking down to Sapphire.
Only the one.
Ah, very well. Maybe a chance of a winter flight out here for the Inquisition, then. That should pay nicely.
Tom looked about the library, that was now filled with playing children, all having fun with their various new toys. The strange board game pieces were currently being used to depict soldiers around a keep made of wooden blocks, which Tom was quite sure the craftsman who made the set would have been appalled by. Essie and Lothal had come up to oversee the kids after the unloading had been concluded, and all the stuff had been stashed away wherever it was destined. Sadly, that meant Tom probably couldn't put off having that chat with Jelena much longer, though he was seriously considering putting it off till after the dinner time. Sadly, he had a feeling they might have a drink or two tonight, so that probably wouldn't be such a great idea. Volzan had gone down to assist Arch, promising to bring up Tom's box of stuff somewhere later, after he was assured that they would read his letters he had given them today. The trader had brought it up a few times, so he probably agreed to make sure Tom did indeed read them. I think the quality assurance department has declared the toy satisfactory, don't you think, Jackie? Well, nothing has broken yet, so that's good, Jackie replied, stepping aside as a pair of kids came running by, with red flags strapped to their tails. Said flags are more dragging along the floor than flapping in the wind, but Tom supposed they weren't made for running speed.
No, they are being very careful. I must say some of these things are very nice, though,
Essie added, as she arbitrated just how many pieces Revo and Hulanar could have, so they could actually try playing said board game. This was met with vehement opposition from Kirin, who needed every soldier for his keep. True that. Well, best of luck. I'll go read the mail, shall we, Jackie? Tom questioned, resigning himself to just getting this over with. I suppose we shall, yes, Jackie grumbled in reply, seeming less than pleased. The two of them made their way out of the library, leaving the kids in the capable hands of Essie, Apuma, and Lothal. Probably best to read the letters first. Upstairs? Let's. If it says something we don't like, we can always burn it and pretend we didn't get it then. I somehow doubt that will work, but I suppose. Tom half sighed and chuckled. The two of them made their way up to Jackie's room as she got out the letters she had stashed away inside her breastplate. Tom shut the door behind them, and Jackie laid down the letters on the bed so they could have the sun behind them to help read what they said. Right then. What are the chances some of this is good news? About the same as Celestine deciding that we have been working very hard and she is going to send a herd of Tyruks marching past the front door, Jackie replied, as they both took a seat on the bed, and Jackie took out her knife. You know, maybe Shiva will let you have that fancy one with the ruby in the hilt, Tom tried in good humour, as Jackie set about looking through the envelopes, presumably looking for the oldest. I wish. Can you imagine what she would do if I dropped it or something? Maybe for some special occasion. Well, if it can sniff out deer hiding in the bushes, then surely it'll be fine. Are you in the habit of losing things in the forest? It has been some time, but it has happened, Jackie admitted, a little sheepishly, as she found what she was looking for, and started opening one of the envelopes. Inside, there was a folded up, crisp white paper. Oh my, look at this stuff. It's almost as nice as some of your paper. Tom just nodded, watching as she unfolded it, revealing an utter mess of what Tom could only guess was the equivalent of Dragonet cursive. Oh, you have to be shitting me, what the hell is that? He protested, looking at the nearly impossible to decipher scribbles. Fucking city dwellers, Jackie agreed, squinting as she held the letter up a bit closer. I guess I need to make a puma proud. If you could, yeah, I've got no chance. Dear Tom, I hope this finds you well. Oh, you wish for that now. Since last we met, I have formulated some questions, for which I would like you to provide me with an answer. Send your reply via Volson if you are able. What is she on about? She sent us a pair of those earrings. I don't know. Is that it? Well, no, we got questions, you see, Jackie replied, tapping the paper with the claw on her thumb. How do your people know of dragons? Why are infants thrown into pools of water? What is the point of a cat? Where do cars come from? Are they grown? Why is there music everywhere? Is it true that giving birth is truly the most painful thing in the world to a human? It just goes on and on. Look at this shit. She really fitted in here. Jackie turned the letter around to Tom to see, and it ruefully was packed, line after line. She ran out of space. Oh, no, bit on the back here. What is the meaning of the combat simulations displayed by the thinking machine? Is it training? And why is it not taken more seriously if it is? Are you tricking the children into accepting grueling training for more than 12 hours a day? Oh my, yeah, she's in my younger years, I guess. I used to love going to the swimming halls, you know, and I might have liked my computer a bit too much. I never would have guessed. Oh, come on. It was good fun at the lake. Get me warm water and then we are talking, Jackie dismissed, looking back to the letter. We do have that, actually. Ooh. Anyway, next letter, please. I have a feeling this isn't the end of the questions. Yeah, probably, Jackie agreed, trimming the top of the second envelope with a claw and taking out the letter. Oh, she's, her writing is a bit worse than this one. Where are the ships that breach the heavens and the universe itself? I have seen movies and imagery of them, but never in your memories. Do they appear? Do they exist? Are you from a backwards country without lance weapons and teleportation machines? And how were dogs produced from wolves? I must know this. Oh my. Someone has been to the mental cinema, I guess. Wait. I thought she already knew about what a movie was. I could have sworn she saw a movie in my memories. Pauline did get to see one, if I remember right. She must have told her all-important Jelena about it. Yeah, Tom replied, thinking further on the implications of this. She has definitely seen more than I am too. I've only seen a few flashes of her childhood and younger days, though it seems to be slowly advancing towards the current time. Maybe she can use her mind magic stuff to see more. I don't know. I bet you a goal she's trying to make the dreams worse, not better like us. Maybe it's driven her a bit mental. Well, more mental.
I suppose so, yeah.
Another one? Tom replied, gesturing for her to continue. Yup, next one it is. Oh dear. Right. Jackie squinted at the paper. Tom leaned over and confirmed that the letter was indeed a mess, complete with drips of ink and smushed out symbols. I have discovered what a motion image is. Well, that's good. I understand the art of the computer's hallucinations. They are not real. But rockets. Are rockets real, Tom? Have your people visited the gods? Why is there only one god at the churches where you grew up? Yet there are other churches. The other gods are seen as alien, or different. Why? Where are the gods, Tom? Why are they disparate? Man, I think she's about lost it. Oh dear. Yeah, might need to clarify some things, and sweep some under the rug. If she'll even believe me, Tom said doubtfully, grimacing as he looked at the remaining letter. Let's get it over with. Last one. Right, oh, let's see what this one says. Oh, I think this one is for you. She simply turned the letter around and showed the contents. Big, bold, drippy Latin letters. In Danish. Svar mig. What does it say? Jackie questioned, sounding a touch worried. Answer me. I'm guessing this is where she decided on sending those earrings. Ah, yeah, that would make sense, Jackie agreed, glancing at the wooden box which contained the lone earring. Wait, why did she bother leaving in the first letters when she sent this anyway? I don't know. Why does she feel the need to put children's toys in the same box as a suit of enchanted half-heretical armor and the blade of... what was he called again? The second most wanted man alive? Yeah, that. I don't think she's doing so hot. Think she'll be very mad if you wait till tomorrow? Probably, Tom conceded, as he slid the lid off the box, picking up the small silvery piece of jewelry. He took a deep breath, looking to Jackie. Right, safe word is spaghetti. If I say it thrice in a row, take it off. Right, sounds like a plan. Good thing Pauline isn't here, right? Yeah, actually. He leaned in and whispered. Go check the corridor, someone might be listening. Quietly. You're the quiet one, Jackie complained as she got up. Tom picking up the earring and studying it in his hands. It had fine, intricate runes running along its surface in little channels. It was exquisite handiwork, that much he could tell, and not cheap like we know. Jackie went up to the door and with a rapid jerking motion opened it, sticking her head out to glance down either corridor. All clear. She pulled her head back in and locked the door. Put the damn thing on then. No promises I won't fuck up your ear if I have to rip it off. Rather that than something worse happening. I kinda wish I'd gotten to see more of her life before this. You're kidding, right? Jackie questioned, as she sat down next to him, on the same side where a hole had already been punched for the last time he had a crack at this sort of thing. You always wake up, shaking, cold, crying, screaming, or whatever the fuck might have happened that time. And you want more? Well, not that part. I guess she has already been through my memories once before, and not like she knows something about me I don't. But still, would be nice to know how the hell she ended up where she is. She knows that about me. Or how her mentor's knife ended up at Furlong Keep. That too. Maybe I'll be able to ask. You do that. Now, get it over with. Right. Tom held the earring up to his ear and started to fiddle with it a bit. A bit turned into a while, and soon enough Jackie grew impatient. Really? You can't put on an earring? It's not like it's something I do often. Damn thing is fiddly. Don't want to break it either. It's mithril. It won't just break. Here, let me. Tom resigned himself to being helped, as Jackie quickly put in the little thing, and slid in the locking pin. Right, there you go. Have fun, I suppose. Yeah. Try not to rip my ear off if I start making funny noises. Remember, safe word is spaghetti. I got it. Right, how was it? I closed my eyes and... "Anyone seen Tom and Jackie? Dinner is almost ready," Ray questioned, as she came up the stairs from the kitchen into the grand hall where everyone was starting to congregate. Well, all of the dragonettes at least. The dragons had elected to eat all together down in front of the keep, rather than having one or two of them eat in the greeting hall. That was all the dragons say for a drill, though. She was consigned to her awning and would get what was left over. There should still be a fair bit of food, and certainly better food than she got normally, but Saf doubted it would do much for her demeanour. Said demeanour was why she was consigned, however. No one wanted to put up with her at a feast. "No, we were told not to disturb them. I think they got something to do. They are up in Jackie's room," Saf replied on her way to sit down at the Huntress table. "Ah, okay. Should I put something aside for them later? That might be best. We don't know how long they will be." "Okay, I'll be back in a minute then. Tell the others to start taking seats. We are nearly there." Saf just nodded and smiled, as Ray turned back and hurried down the stairs. But a moment later, Balathon and Heron came up said stairs with a spitted deer, which was to be their main course for the day. "Oh, this should be lovely. Do I want to try out some of the ham too today, I wonder?" As she sat down at the table, it was pretty evident that most of the others had decided that, yes, they would be trying out some of the interesting new things they got. It was rather hard to complain, after whoever had sold you something had already left. There had been a lot of chatting, and a few good laughs as they all got settled in, and true to Ray's word, they were soon called up to come get their portions of meat and sides. It was good stuff. Someone had snuck in some extra herbs and spices, either at the last minute, or possibly used the last of old stores now that they knew resupply was coming. They did have a few guests at the Huntress table, namely Udanti and Tyrox from Archion's crew. They were, of course, interrogated thoroughly for any news of how things had been going in the world at large. Tyrox spoke highly, and with his usual brash bravado about tales of battles, fought all along both the frontier and even some middling keeps. He did not seem worried in the slightest, relating victory after victory. Udanti seemed less enthused, and as the meal progressed, hushed murmurs and gossiping began to spread among all the tables, as far as Saf could work out from where Udanti was sitting. Darklings attacking middling keeps, or ring keeps as some would call them, like the one where she grew up. That could not be good. The Darklings were growing bolder. Udanti had heard rumours that the Guard had suffered losses too. Last time they had received much news of the war, there had been no mention of any defeats by the Guard, only keeps raided or besieged. But according to Udanti, an entire combat wing of rookies had not been heard from for some time, and no one was being told what had happened to them. Tyrox didn't think much of it. Maybe they were just holed up, and even if they had been lost, it was only one wing of dragons. That was to be expected in war. By the time the dinner was more or less finished, they had also all heard the rumours about Rashan. Beau and Foe had needed to be brought up to speed on just who that was, but everyone who had been with the keep before all this started knew well enough who that was, and what this all meant. "I guess Shiva is going to need to try again to convince Tom to make that dragon-killing cannon then?" Fengi questioned, seeming almost apathetic about it. "Or something like it," Essie echoed, nodding as she sipped a cup of a special tea she had brought. "Don't push him on that. I'm sure all the things we're already doing will be plenty. There are so many other things he wants to do. Most sound like they will be good news for us too." "Yeah, speaking of good news, Miss Silverstreak, I heard you found someone special. Where is he at?" Udanti the Archer questioned, seemingly wishing to change the subject as well. "Oh, Maiko, I don't know actually," Sapphire admitted, looking around to see if he was sitting at the guards table like he usually did, but there was no sign of him. "I think he is with a drill," Fengi added, sipping the tea a little as well. "I'm sure he snuck her some food or something." "Maiko got a soft spot for a traitor dragon or something?" Tyrox questioned with a huff, tilting his head. "No, he's trying to get on her good side. Might be handy one day," Fengi answered plainly, and it might make her a little less insufferable. Oh, I see. So it's like a mission you put him on. Saf wasn't sure this was something that should be discussed openly at the dinner table, but she wasn't about to stop Fengi. At least not yet. Yes, don't blab to the dragon about it, then it won't work, and her ears are good. Remember that. Oh, okay. The male trader escort replied, looking at Fengi a little confused. He likely remembered a far happier and more bubbly girl than who was sitting at the table now. Saf sighed to herself. These past months have been hard on Fengi. Very hard. Hopefully things would get better. Maybe they could do something about all that now. Then it clicked for Saf why Fengi might not be so cheery today. It wasn't just that a drill had been segregated around the back of the keep. Maybe she got some bad news from those trying to find Doré for her. Probably best not to bring that up here. Oh yeah, by the way, I heard some talk you got the hookup too, didn't you, Fengi? Odanti questioned, once more trying to steer the conversation back to something positive, obviously not knowing that was a touchy subject. Fengi put on a forced smile. It wasn't much, but it was enough to show she at least appreciated the gesture. I did. It's been a little rough, though, with all this stuff going on. Oh, right, Odanti replied, seeming to catch on now. I'm guessing he isn't much for getting bossed around. Before Fengi could reply, Essie interjected, Oh no, quite the opposite. He's a right little knight, so he is. But he is at times a bit of a... Oh, speak of the devil, she carried on, her gaze carrying past Odanti to the young guard approaching the Huntress table. Saf spied a familiar-looking small box in the palm of one of his hands. By the time he made it up to the table, all heads were turned to look at the young man, which seemed to unnerve him just a touch, which was understandable, to be fair. Hi. Okay, so many more people. Right, he went, seeming to steel himself. Fengi turning around fully on the bench to face him. I know what you think of me, that I'm a weak-willed coward. I'm sorry, I'll try to do better, but I can't promise anything. Here, he went, holding out the little box towards Fengi. I know you don't like flowers much, so I got you this instead. There was perfect silence at the table, especially from the trader escorts who had no clue what was going on. Fengi gingerly held out a hand and took the box, looking up at Unkai with a curious expression, then down to the box as she opened it, revealing a beautiful pair of silver earrings with rectangular cut emeralds set in them. I hope you like them. Fengi stared at them for a moment, one hand going up to touch the plain copper one she wore most days. Saf couldn't actually remember, but she guessed Shiva had made them some time back. They were not overly remarkable, almost rugged looking by comparison to the new silver ones. I love them, Fengi finally declared, just as it seemed like Unkai was losing hope. Looking up at him, she wore a far more genuine smile than before. Though I could do with some flowers too one of these days. Those times were simpler. The guard let out a slight involuntary chuckle and nodded. I think I can manage flowers. You used to be quite good at picking out the prettiest ones, Essie added in her motherly tone. Maybe there are still a few who haven't succumbed to the cold and rain. Fengi took one of the earrings out of the box and held it up to her ear, looking around at them all. How do they look? Elegant, Saf said, nodding her approval. It was the truth. They weren't overly ostentatious, and they wouldn't have suited Fengi if they were. And who knew? With everything happening at the keep, she might find herself with a matching silver crown before too long. Silver suits you. Fengi even let out a little giggle at that, putting it gingerly back in the box, and looking back to Unkai, who had not moved a muscle, probably having run out of planning 30 seconds ago. And Fengi's smile faded a touch. I'm sorry, but I didn't think to get you anything special. Unkai had seemed worried for a second as her smile had faded, but livened right back up as the reason was made plain. Oh, don't worry about that. Just try not to hate me. That will be plenty. Fengi's smile faded a little further. I don't hate you. I'm sorry if you thought that. Saf and the others did exchange some glances. There could be no doubt they had been hard on the guy, but it did seem to have worked. No, it is okay. I get it. I was a jerk. I might be again, but I'll try not to be, okay? I guess I'll try not to be so scary. No promises either. Oh, that's nice, Sapphire mused to herself, a smile starting to grow. Ooh, I wonder if Maiko got me something.